And another question we had is, what is it? How do we sustain the life of the message? You know, Chase brought up a good point that a lot of times, I don't know, the latest meme will be going viral, and all of a sudden it's radio silence. So how do we...
Sorry, we're getting a lot of background noise. I don't know if it's hard to hear. Was there something else going on, or?
Take the offending item away. Apologies.
Yeah, thank you for letting us know. So the last important question that we had was, how do we sustain the life of the message? And I gave an example, like there'll be a meme that's going viral, and then all of a sudden it goes radio silent. So how do we keep this fresh and alive? How do we keep the sharing, you know, going on? And how might we test it? One of the ways we could test it was to consult social media experts. And that's our questions.
We don't want to be Coney.
No, we don't want to be Coney.
Coney was bad.
But we learned a lot from Coney. You know what? And that shows you how much empathy people had. They wanted to participate. They wanted to help. They didn't know these people. They didn't know what's going on. This guy spread, even though it died. We were talking about Coney 2012. Is that what it was called?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you folks remember that video that went viral?
No.
Well, it was like this 20-minute like documentary-ish thing where this guy was explaining terrible things that were going on in Africa, and like child soldiers and
killing.
Yeah, killing.
Oh yeah.
Very horrific things, and yeah, he just explained, you know, all the stuff that's going on in like 20 minutes, and you know, made it really like heartfelt and everything. And
how many hits did it get?
It got like probably like 40 million. Like you could go look at it now. It probably has probably above 50 million, I guess. Like a lot. And then after a few months, nobody talked about it. Like everyone was talking about it for just a little bit, and then nothing. Like it was completely silent after that. And yeah, we don't really want to do that.
Well, I mean, everything fades away in time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really guarantee it'll last forever, but you can hope that it'll spark the next change in kind of human evolution, and like have the empathy factor of it stay. But
it's the Coney thing. You know, people, I guess, are worried about. I mean, I guess if it sparks a conversation, you know, if it makes things happen, then it does its job. But nobody is. Well, I guess people are. It's not like there's more videos, you know, based on things going on in Africa. You know?
It sounds like you're looking for sustained engagement. If you have this engagement first, how do you create the ongoing sustained engagement?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's a great thing to jot down there. So are we ready to move on to the next step? It was 07, step 7.
Ready to move on.
Okay, and I can read it. It says, it's time to start making. You selected an item, an idea to prototype, and identified the most important elements to test first. Fingers crossed. Your team also has a good sense of how to go about building your first prototype, just in case we listed some of our favorite prototyping methods. So they say, you know, to create a model, create a mock-up, create a role play, create a diagram, create a story, or create an advertisement. And so ours is pretty clear that Lewis is going to just go and do a mock-up.
Yeah.
And then it says, as your team is creating, keep in mind, be creative, have fun, design to get answers. And this part of the workshop is up to you. Remember, the goal of prototyping is to be as creative as possible. Don't feel restricted by the methods listed on the previous page, but do construct prototypes that will help you get real feedback from the community and help your team answer the most important questions that you identified as part of Activity 6. Don't forget to document your prototype process with photos and share them online. So we need some photos too, Louis.
Okay, I'm sure we can figure that out.
So then it goes on to step 8. And step 8 is test your prototype and get feedback. It's time to test the prototype. So we're going to be creating our prototype, and then step 8 is the testing, where we're going to test it. And they say it's time to test the prototype or prototypes that you've created. We've captured a few guidelines below for getting the most out of this activity, and provide with a format for capturing feedback on the next page of this worksheet. So they say, select the location to test your prototype, define the feedback activities, invite honesty and stay neutral, capture feedback learnings, do quick debriefs of your team. So after we do the circle, you can ask for some feedback. Iterate your prototype if there is time, and means we could do multiple versions of it. And then the final step is this report. So it would be filling out this report, or making a report, and the report is answer the questions below. We already had some questions that we want to answer, but they add these other ones. Who, what, where did you go, what did you test, what were you testing for, the good, what did people value most, what got them excited, what convinced them about the idea, the bad, what failed, what were suggestions for improvement, what needs further investigation, the unexpected, did anything happen that you didn't expect. So this is basically a report like this would be presented at the beginning of the next meeting with your prototype of what your prototype was.
It's okay. Clarifying question?
Yes.
So we're going to build and test our prototype before next week's session, and then write the report in your hand to share for next session.
Yeah. If we write it online, but that's it's the last page of this. Yeah, but that's right. That's what I understand. And I'm off the hook because Louis is going to do all this. So I'm totally pleased because I got 2 other groups I'm trying to keep moving too. But I really love our idea. I'm really excited about the whole We had a great time, Louis, and I was really enjoying the role play.
You guys are muted. We saw you guys smiling. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was good. So that's it. That's the class. Does everything sound okay for that? You had that clarifying question, Leanne. So does that?
Yeah, our team over here is going to need a little bit of extra time to delegate who's doing what, because we literally have to storyboard or create an infographic and call those statistics and information. So we have a ton of work to do, and also figure out how to generate this animated infographic if there are any generators or templates online. So may we spend the last 15 minutes figuring out how we're going to do that, or is there something else that we need to do?
Yeah, I wanted to just do our meeting report on page 38.
Okay.
That we just write a quick report, and then the rest of it.
Okay.
And who leads the number 5? Is somebody? That was the other thing. Is meeting number 5? Does somebody want to lead that one? Does anyone? I guess I could. Oh, Wendy? Did you say you will?
Yeah, I'll lead it.
Okay, great. So we have that, and then we have our meeting report. So if each of us just takes maybe about 5 minutes to write up what our experience was, and it gives us something to send to everyone else and summarize.
In a second.
Yeah, I was thinking. I'm just taking a moment. Yeah.
How's everyone? Thumbs ready? Got more?
Ready.
Okay. Then I can just go down the list. In this class, we got into preparing our prototypes. We also had done some initial prototypes that we shared and reported on since last week. I really enjoyed the energy of going into the doing and the prototyping process, and especially like hearing everyone else's reports. Lewis and I formed a team to create a prototype of the empathy circle with role plays of participants taking on the roles of superheroes and supervillains. They will try to work out their differences. This is like really great for mediation because I think it will. I'm adding this. It's going to really show the benefits of empathy because it's going to show how an empathy circle can foster, mediate kind of conflict. So I'm excited about that. We did also we did an initial test of it. It was a lot of fun. It was nice to see Lewis smiling. And I see a lot of potential in this idea for generating engagement and fun for the empathy circle with high school students. I'm looking forward to next week to see the outcome and to keep iterating on this idea. That's it.
My perspective on the same meeting was that we split up into 2 teams to further develop 2 prototypes. One, the superhero and villain role play in Empathy Circle, and the second was an animated infographic to inspire and entice teens to participate in Empathy Circles. The outcome was rich for us and for you guys. Yeah, the outcome was rich as the essence of the animated infographic and role plays crystallized and became clearer.
Okay, we'll go next. In today's meeting, we storyboarded for 2 prototypes, superhero and villains, and animated infographic, which was to prime teens for an empathy circle. Reviewing the important questions revealed how many steps must be accomplished before testing our animated infographic idea. And after this meeting, I feel like I can see the light at the end of the human-centered design.
That's pretty funny. The light.
Oh, sorry.
This time we went through our ideas that we had come up with in the last meeting and began prototyping them. Once we had chosen our favorites and given some feedback, we split into 2 groups, started to draft them up, experiment, and implement them.
Okay, in the meeting today, we split up and worked on 2 separate prototypes. We developed important questions to answer about our prototypes and created storyboards. It was exciting to get the ball rolling and see our design process getting closer and closer to completion.
Yay!
Hilarious.
Oh, great. Well, that's it. We're right on time, right on the dot here. So next week, Wendy, you're facilitating, and we hear the reports from our prototypes.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Looking forward.
Yay!
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, y'all. It was a great meeting. Really enjoyed it.
Likewise.
Yeah, it was
Thank
great.
you, Edwin. Have a great day.
Have a great week.